This video is brought to you by CoolStuffInc.com, the best online retailer for Magic the Gathering singles and sealed product. And GatheringMagic.com, the #1 source for Magic the Gathering news and content.
Hey guys, Marshall here from Limited Resources doing another draft here on GatheringMagic.com, and we've got a pretty spicy cube pack lined up here. There's an Upheaval, which is kind of the card that I'm gonna pre-select here, as I think it's just the most powerful card out of this pack, probably. There are some other pretty decent cards here, though. Mirari's Wake and Gaia's Cradle both sort of jump out to me as very potent, powerful spells. Ajani Goldmane's really only good in one deck. It's a tokens type deck, and then he's quite good, but otherwise you don't really want him. Vengevine is mediocre. Hero's decent in the red deck. I like Exalted Angel quite a bit. That's a very powerful card. The old morph is 3 and then turn it into an angel on turn 4 is really powerful. 4/5 lifelink is with flying is incredibly good. But I'm slamming Upheaval here as I just feel like it's the best card here, and it has the most potential upside as well. Interesting choice in this pack. We've got a few things to look at. The first one that jumps out is Elspeth. She's she's just really powerful, really good. And there's also Riftwing Cloudscape, which is a very, very solid blue card. Flexible, does a lot of work in blue, and we're maybe in blue, so that's something we should consider. There's a Nature's Lore, which is like the only ramp spell out of this pack, and there's a Tooth and Nail, which is something that we could consider ramping into. I think I'm just going to take Elspeth here, though. It's between Cloudscape and Elspeth, and I think Elspeth is probably enough more powerful than Cloudscape that we want it, so we'll take it. All right, no good white cards in this pack, but there's plenty of blue and even some really good green stuff too. There's a Tamiyo the Moonsage and a Mana Leak in blue, and there's a Talrand, which is just okay. In green, though, there's sort of the twins here, Courser, Crewfix, and Oracle of Moldiah. They're similar cards. Oracle of Moldiah is a lot more powerful, than Courser, but they're both welcome additions to a deck for sure. I think we should probably just take one of the blue cards here, as Upheaval's still probably our best card. So Mana Leak is excellent, but I'm going to take Tamiyo just because I like it better. There's no other, not getting any cuter than that. All right, more good stuff here. Faith's Fetters, Disenchant, Blade Splicer, all fine cards in white. Kitchen Finks is quite good in white as well. If we wanted to perhaps branch out a little bit, we could go for Baleful Strix. There's two decent green cards. Rude Awakening, just a powerful game-ending spell. Polukranos has been a little disappointing for me. I'm not a big fan of Polukranos in the cube, and Woodfall Primus is a nice reanimation target. I think less good if you're just ramping to it, but still fine. It's just that it's 8. It's still a lot of mana. I think I'm just going to take Faith's Fetters here. I think you could make a play at Blade Splicer as well. Yeah, maybe I'll just take a Blade Splicer. No, I'll take a Faith's Fetters. I think that card's more powerful for sure, and I think it's what we want to be doing. I'm going to take a Pristine Talisman out of this pack. This works really well with Upheaval. It also is just a solid ramp spell to get us up into more expensive stuff, and it also gains us some life, which is nice. Second place, pretty distant here, I guess, an Impulse. We could play a Porcelain Legionnaire. Hand of Honor is not exciting. Voice is pretty good. All right, I will take a Meloku here on pick number 6, no problem. There's some other decent stuff in this pack, but none of it compares to how good Meloku the Clouded Mirror is. So, welcome, Meloku. Okay, a couple of good white cards here for us. There's an Aven Mind Sensor, and there's a Banisher Priest. I kind of like maybe looking at Sunpetal Grove here, though, as neither of these are particularly bomby. I'm just going to take the Grove. My gut tells me that green might be a little bit open, and I want to just sort of keep that in mind. I'm going to take Wall of Reverence here over Seagate, Oracle, or Jushi. I really like Wall, actually. It just seems to do a lot of work. Even if you're only gaining a 1 or 2 life a turn, it just blocks everything. All right, here's a pack that we opened. I'm going to take Exalted Angel out of it. We do have Elspeth, which can go pretty well with Ajani, but I think I just want raw power here. Actually, Ajani goes well with Meloku as well. This is a consideration. I like Exalted Angel because it's a 3-drop and because it's really powerful, but Ajani with 2 different token makers pretty early in the pack is actually something we should consider. I'm still going to go for the Angel. I want to get my curve down a little bit lower, and I think the Angel just asks a lot less. Lower setup cost, you just play it, you morph it, you gain a bunch of life, you maybe kill a creature. I like that a lot. I'm going to take the Scalding Tarn here. Nature's Lore isn't really worth going into green for. And yeah, it looks like both of the Oracle type cards have been snatched up appropriately so. They're very good. I don't know what the most annoying one is. I guess Searing Blood maybe. It doesn't really kill anything we have now, but I'll take a Disenchant. These are main deckable in this cube, though you're not really happy to do it. I prefer to bring them in out of the board. But if I end up running a main deck Disenchant, I'm fine with it. The thing that you have to consider is that while this is a powerful effect in the cube and will have a target basically every game you play, other colors are much, much better at doing this. For example, green has infinite different ways to blow up the same type of permanence that this one can. But the big difference is that they get to do it while casting a creature, and you don't. All right, I love picking up Trinket Mage here. There's a lot of one-drop artifacts that we can pick up down the line here that we're quite happy to see. All right, and we've got a pretty good open here. Only one white card in the pack, and it's a fairly mediocre one, but some good blue cards. There's Jace, Architect of Thought. There's an Undermine that we could consider splashing potentially, and there's a Phyrexian Metamorph here. For me, it's between Jace and Phyrexian Metamorph. I like both of them a lot. I think I might just take Jace here, though. I haven't actually used him in the cube that much yet, and I'm kind of curious, and I know he's powerful, so I'll take it. Okay. So, there's a Grim Monolith, which is the best card in the pack, I think. There's also a Martial Coup and an Achroma Angel of Wrath. Achroma I don't think is going to be on the menu today, but Martial Coup absolutely is. Only I feel like we might be able to wheel that. If nobody else is really in white, or if they're in another color, they might take something else. And we're definitely not wheeling Grim Monolith, and we want Monolith with cards like Upheaval. So, yeah, makes our decision, I wouldn't say super easy, but a lot easier. I'm going to take Vedalken Shackles here. It looks like we're going to be straight blue-white, and Shackles in a half-blue deck is pretty darn good. I like it a lot in a deck like that. And it looks like we're going to get something back as well. We could get a Flicker Wisp, a Hinder, or a Capsize, or maybe just the Floodplain comes back, but take a Shackles. All right. Some good stuff here. Spreading Seas, Spell Pierce are reasonable. Same with Descendant of Kiamaro, just whatever. But Factor Fiction, Future Sight, Gideon are powerhouse cards. Factor Fiction just being one of the better, just straight up card advantage spells you can get, and Future Sight being probably the best one. I mean, that card just draws you infinite cards. But I'm going to actually just take Gideon here. I kind of want to run some Super Friends action here with the with the Planeswalkers, and I think Gideon's really good at that. I love what Gideon does to the game. It really can screw things up for our opponent, and well, of course I like to do that. Molten Tail Masticore, a Darkar Waste, Court Hussar, Rishadan Port are the things that we're looking at here. Court Hussar is just solid in this deck. I mean, it really is. Like, it just does what it does. It's just basically card advantage. A Darkar Waste would be nice, just, to help smooth out our mana a little bit. We're probably not going to play this guy, but, just to help smooth things out. And then Port's just good. I'm going to take the Court Hussar here, though. I think that's a fine pickup. You can see he's pretty good. Holds down the fort, beats down, grabs some equipment. A little awkward if you try to blink him, but even then you do get the trigger. You unfortunately also get the other trigger. Oh, yes. Yes. Consecrated Sphinx is fantastic. Would totally run a Day of Judgment in this deck as well, but hell with that. I'm taking Consecrated Sphinx. That's a nice pickup. All right, now it gets a little interesting. Supreme Verdict or Ancestral Vision. I think it's Ancestral Vision with the proverbial not close attached to it. But I actually do want a Supreme Verdict in this deck pretty badly. But the reason I'm not going to take it is because we could just wheel that other one. There's 100 Wrath of God effects in this cube, and we have a whole nother pack to go, plus the remnants of this one. And Ancestral Vision is just really powerful. So I want to take the Vision and then hope to either wheel or pick up another Wrath effect later. I'm going to take Force Spike here. 8.5 Tails is fine, but I really like Force Spike to give you a little bit of play early. It blanks a lot of really good spells. All right, now was this the pack? I can't remember if this was the pack or if it was the next one with Martial Coup in it, but God, I hope it was the next one because I'd love to get that card back. Nothing here for us, obviously. So I guess we just take Bad River. Even though it doesn't do anything right now, maybe we pick up a dual land that it can grab or something like that. Shoot, yeah, we're not getting that back. All right, Lodestone Golem's the only card we can actually cast here. I don't think that our deck really wants it. We're looking to cast some pretty expensive stuff, and I think it'll stifle us just as much, if not more so, than our opponents. All right, there's that Floodplain. Okay, well, we're not getting back the premium stuff, but I think our deck's coming around. We've definitely got a high power level. We need to shore up this early game, though. We just don't have a whole lot going on early. We can suspend something, maybe get a Force Spike down. But Disenchant is a card, like I said, that we're actually hoping not to make the main. All right, well, I'd love to pick up Spreading Seas just to mess with people's mana, but Future Sight's just too powerful. So this makes things really interesting as we move forward, because we know now exactly what kind of cards we need. We need cheap cards. Our high end is fantastic. It's really, really good. So we are not concerned. Like, once we get up to this end of the spectrum, the game should be ours. So the question is, how do we get there? And we need some counter spells. We need some removal spells. We need some creatures. We just need stuff to do here down on the lower end of the spectrum. All right, and we pick up just an epically good pack for us. There's Snapcaster Mage, Venser, and Sphinx's Revelation. There is a way, and this is exactly how you do it. If you guys want to get a clan invite, that's all you have to do, is just send me a message on here. The only rules are that you must love Magic. You must not be a jerk. If you fit that criteria, you can be in the clan. I think I'm going to take Snapcaster here. I think we can wheel Sphinx's Revelation. I don't think we're going to wheel Venser. I don't think we really want a Delver that bad. Snapcaster is cheap and can get back some pretty interesting stuff. So, boop, Snapcaster Mage. What do we have here? Not a lot. Geez, this pack's actually mediocre. So our choices are Mystical Tutor or Sensei's Divining Top. Remember, we do have a Trinket Mage that can go find Top, and Top is fine. It's not great. When it's free-ish, then I like it a lot better. And Mystical Tutor, what do you grab? Vision, not that great. Force Spike, not that great. Disenchant, we're probably not going to run. Fetters, no. And nothing up here except for Upheaval, which we just kind of hope to draw naturally. I'll just take the top. I like it a lot better than Mentor the Meek here. And it does give us that early play that I was hoping for as well. All right, this is another. Man, these packs have been pretty sweet. Looter Ilkor is nice. Colonnade is nice. I'm going to take Colonnade here. So I think I want to pick Path to Exile out of this pack. I like Teferi. I don't love Teferi, and there's really not much else going on. So Path gives us early action and also is a great Snapcaster target as well. All right, so Jace Beleren or Glen Elendra Archmage. This is actually really interesting because both of them are quite powerful. I'm not even looking at Heliod here, by the way, just not even on the radar. Apocryphite is a card we could actually consider, but I don't think I'm going to take. I think that these are enough powerful that we can, because I essentially view Apocryphite as like a random 2-drop, and Glen Elendra Archmage and Jace Beleren are not random 3s or 4s. They're both very good. I'm going to take Glen Elendra Archmage. I'm a little concerned about how many 4s we have, but Archmage is really that good. I'm going to take Mirran Crusader over Silverblade Paladin. We're not going to have that many creatures running around, and Crusader just randomly bones a bunch of decks. Just completely screws them over, and I like that. What are we hiding here? Hide red. I could take Isolated Chapel in case we actually want to run Merciless Eviction here. Otherwise, I'm playing Gifts, and Gifts in this deck, what does it do? What do you do, Gifts? You're just Value Gifts? Value Gifts doesn't seem that good. Yeah, I'm going to take the Chapel here. I don't really like running these bounce lands if I can help it. But the Chapel gives us Ultimate Price and Merciless Eviction, and there was also that what's it called, that charm, the Esper charm that was floating around, and we might actually be able to just run it. I doubt it. I'm not planning on it, but it's possible. See if we even have a deck here yet. Our 5s are insane. No, we do not have enough playables as of yet. And we are getting down to it. So actually, I mean, I shouldn't say that. Like, I just hit a couple of 2s. Like, we can play some stuff that we just would rather not. That happens all the time. All is dust? No, I guess we just take a Calciderm to add to our ever-growing 5-drop count, or 4-drop count here. I mean, it's a good card. Yeah, the more I think about it, the more I think I like Divining Top in this deck. Just, I like being able to set up the early game a little bit better, and I think it's probably worth a card. We have many ways to get cards back later in the game, and I love having Trinket Mage with Divining Top. Just give us that target. Oh my goodness. We wield Venser. I wish I could tell you how happy that made me, but words cannot express it. Love that card. And it's really good in our deck too. Alright, so we got the Mystical Tutor back, or we can take the Hikori Dust Drinker. But I think we just want Tutor. I don't know if we're going to play it yet or not, but I'll figure that out in a minute. Oh man, Awakening Zone, one of my favorites. Can Wooded Foothills get anything that we care about? No, it cannot. Yeah, there's just really not much here. We're not splashing green for anything. I'll just take Awakening Zone, I guess, because I like it. And there's that Esper Charm. We'll take that. If we had a way to fetch up like a black mana source, then I would be much happier about trying that, but I don't think that we're going to have that. Our mana is actually just kind of bad. We've got 2 fetches, but we don't have any lands we can actually get with them. So I think we're just going to keep this one simple. We've got Shackles. That's nice. Mystical Tutor, I don't know if I'm going to run yet, but I'll find out in a second. Our curve. Our curve is an issue. Might not run Upheaval. We are really not much of an Upheaval deck. We've got Grim Monolith and Talisman, which can get us ahead. Sometimes, some people think that just if you have a Upheaval, you're an Upheaval deck. While respecting the power level of the card, I don't think I'm quite that all in on it. I want to maximize on it, because it is not amazing if you don't have that big turn where you get to cast a few things before, but it can still be quite strong. And we never really did pick up that Wrath effect, so we probably want it. But basically we're blue-white control. And we didn't wheel that, so somebody else is blue-white here, because we didn't get back that Revelation either. Calciderm is a card I could take out probably. I like it quite a bit, but it does sort of get in the way. And we've got Future Sight and Shackles. We're only going to be running this Colonnade here and I guess a Floodplain. So yeah, it's one of those things where actually, and I wonder if I want to probably run Scalding Tarn just for the shuffles. Yeah, I mean, I have essentially 2 Sensei's Divining Tops. Having shuffle effects is pretty nice with cards like that. Taking the 1 extra point of damage sometimes matters, but usually doesn't. What do I want to cut here? I'd love to cut one of these 4s. Jace, Architect of Thought comes to mind, though I'm not super excited to cut that card. I could cut Upheaval. Yeah, we'll try it without Upheaval. Blasphemy, some will say. 8-6, this gets white, this is white, so that's 6, 7, 8, and that's 9. Yeah, that seems fine. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 blue sources, and 10 of them are plains and or islands, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 white sources. Yeah, that'll work just fine. All right, blue-white control. Let's see what it does.